Yeah, hello guys. So in previous video, we created our very first React app and we executed it, and it was very basic hello world kind of application where we displayed hello world text over the browser. And again in previous video I didn't mention about that how can you stop your React app. So let's see that first. Suppose my app is right now running on the browser, and if I want to close that app, means I want to close this server. So what I can do, I can go to this terminal and I can press Control C. So like if you press Control C, so it will ask you to close all the job or terminate it. So I can select the option. Now you can see if I again run my application, so now it is not going to work because we have stopped the server. So basically we have stopped our React application. So now again we have to run the same command to start our application, like npm start is there. So again it is going to take some time to again restart the server and to run our application. So since then we have basically discussed about creating and executing our running app. And now before going to the next video and discussing about the concepts of React, like JSX attributes, or we can say components and everything, what we can do right now, I just wanted to discuss about a particular error, a common error that you may come across while working with this directory. So let's discuss about that first, then we can move to the next concept like JSX attributes and everything. So suppose right now I am displaying some text over the browser, and that is in the black color. So what I right now what I want to do, I want to print this hello world in red color. So what I can do, I can define a class, CSS class, for this particular h1 tag. And suppose I give it a name what we call it, suppose we call it like head. And so for that, if now I want to apply this class to this particular h1, so I will have to create a separate CSS file. And because we are not using any bootstrap or semantic UI something, so we have to create our own CSS for giving style to this particular text. So right now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create this new file inside this public directory. So like I've told you in the previous video that you can create your files anywhere, and you can just import them to use them. So right now what I'm going to do, I'm instead of creating this file inside src where our code is code is stored, what we are going to do, we are going to create this file inside a public directory. So let's create a file, and we can call it like head.css sorry. And right now I'm just going to write a uh, like some code, CSS code, and to give it the color red. So right now I defined my class name here. Whatever I mentioned it, you can see class name was head. So again I selected that property, and now I'm going to apply that property to color red. So again right now if I run this code, and yeah, so I forgot to import it, because to use this class and to use this CSS we have to import it first. So how do we import files in the React? Let me tell you, like just write this import statement, and import keyword, and then whatever the file you want to import, you can directly import it. And suppose my file name is head.css, so I can write it here like head.css. But right now this file is not inside our src directory. So this file is outside from the src directory, and it is inside the public folder, and public folder is not inside this particular src directory. So what I can do, dot slash public, and then we can go inside to the public, and we can select for this head.css file. But again I am using one dot, so again it is not going to work, because one dot means we are looking in the current directory itself. So src does not have any particular public folder, so we have to go one step back, means we have to go inside this test directory. But again let's first run this code right now and see what kind of error we are going to get. So suppose right now the error is can't resolve this particular file. so it can't get that file because the path is not correct. Path is basically we want to go to this public folder, then we can come to this head.css, but we are looking for this public folder inside our src directory, so that is not going to work. So again we have to include one more dot, because dot means going one step back. So now we are going back to the test folder from src. Now inside test folder we can search for this public and then head. So now now we are going to get our basically this file css. But now this time the main error that I wanted to talk in this video, now we are going to come across that error. So let's see what kind of error this time we get. So if I again compile this code, so now you can see we didn't get any resolve kind of error like file not found or something. We are now getting this kind of error, like you attempted to import a file which falls outside of the project directory src, and relative imports from src are not supported outside from src. So what is this error basically? So what happens sorry, whenever you try to import any file from directory that is other than that is not inside src, basically you are importing files from outside directory, so that is not allowed to do in react. Means developer community has given some restriction over. They have pre-applied some restriction to access file from other directory. So we cannot access file from this public folder, or we cannot create any folder to access files from outside. Always we will have to create files inside only src directory. We can create folder here, there will be no issue, like inside this src I can create either new file or I can create a new folder. But if I create a folder outside and I am going to import file from outside of the src, so I will be getting the same error. So this is the restriction given by the community developer. So that was that error I wanted to tell you about. Like if you get this kind of error, just move your file from this location to src. So again we are going to do the same, and in this complete series we are always going to write our code inside src only. Inside src directory we will be creating folders or files. And again this is not this error can be overridden. Means you can you can make some changes to configuration file. There is some function or something called eject, and I never used it, and neither most of the developers never use such kind of thing. They always create and files inside this src directory only, and they use this src directory for their development. So again we are not going to do that kind of step, like using eject function and changing to the configuration file to just for using this concept, like creating files here and using import function to use them. So that is not that again there is no point of doing that, because we can create our file inside src, and we can create our folder inside src, and we can use them easily. So why to waste time over doing such kind of thing, like changing to the configuration file and then importing file from the other directories. So always keep in mind, if you get this kind of error, that means you have imported file from directory that does not belong to this particular src folder. So what I'm going to do now, I am going to cut this file from public folder, and I am going to move this inside my src folder. So now we are inside src directory, and we have this file head.css. So now what we can do, we can simply import it like this way. So we do not need any public folder. Directly I can import this, and now if I run this, so now you can see there should not be any error while importing this, because this file is inside the same directory. So we can just use one dot to look for this particular directory. So you can see now it's working properly, and if I run my code right now, so now it should be in red. Yeah. So that was the concept all about. Means if you get such kind of error that files outside the src directories are not supported or something like that, so keep in mind, always move your file inside the src directory and always import them from this src directory only. So now we are able to run our code, and basically it is working because we have moved our file, this css file, to particular this folder. So now we can go ahead and we can discuss about the concept of jss and everything. So just keep in mind about this error, and just try to get it for just try to do some changes and just try to create and file create some file and import them from src. Try to import them and see whether you get the same error or not. And again you will be getting the same error because that restriction is applied by community developer. So again, if you are using create react app command, so you must be getting this error if you try to use any file outside from the src directory. So this was it, and from now on we can discuss about concepts. So let's meet in the next video where I will be discussing about jsx concept and everything. So till then, goodbye, and thank you.